Good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting shortly. Kindly keep your mics on mute. Should you have questions, please direct them to Q&A in the chat box and we will answer them as soon as we can.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Learn With Us, a webinar on bringing home the party, a talk on party planning during the pandemic. My name is Allison Riosa, the Bravo Company and Rescue Unit sponsor for Batch 2022, and I'll be your host for today. Before we begin our program, we'd like to go over a few reminders. Although the frequently asked questions were flashed earlier, let's do a quick rundown of them in case anyone missed it. Number 1, will I get a certificate of participation? You can get this by answering the evaluation form we will be releasing after the webinar. Number 2, when will the evaluation form be available? The link to our evaluation form will be shared at the end of the webinar. The form will be available for only 48 hours. Number 3, when will the e-certificates be released? They will be released within 15 days after the webinar. Number 4, if I do not receive my e-certificate after 15 days, who do I contact? If you do not receive your e-certificate, please message us on Facebook at UP Corps of Sponsors Diliman or email us at sponsors.diliman@uprotc.org. And to ensure our webinar runs smoothly, here's a rundown of our netiquette. When in the Zoom meeting room, please take note of the following. Choose a place where you have good internet connectivity, good Wi-Fi signal, and you're free from distractions. Prepare your gadget and use earphones for better reception. Put your gadget at eye level. Refrain from moving it around. Please mute your microphone during the webinar. Do not draw or make annotations on the screen. For questions during the speaker's talk, please use the chat box. Only questions addressed to Q&A in the chat box will be entertained during the open forum. Thank you. We'd also like to let you all know we will be taking pictures after the open forum, and we will be posting these pictures on our official Facebook page. We have the privilege of having Ms. Dorothy Hope Matriano and Ms. Star Asuncion as our speakers today. Ms. Dorothy Hope Matriano will be discussing how we can hold physical celebrations safely and affordably during a pandemic. And Ms. Star Asuncion will be giving us tips and tricks on how to make virtual celebrations memorable and fun. Our speakers will be given 25 minutes each to discuss their topics. This will be followed by a 20-minute forum. To begin our program, let's welcome Ms. Rachel A. Carlos, our core sponsor, for her opening remarks.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat and welcome to Learn With Us, Bringing Home the Party, a talk on party planning during the pandemic. Ito ang ika-4 na bahagi ng ating Learn With UP CoS webinar series. Para sa webinar na ito, dadako tayo sa paksa kaugnay sa mga nalalapit na pagdiriwang. Ilang araw na lang ay Pasko at Bagong Taon na. Ngunit marami pa ring restrictions na dapat sundin dahil sa COVID-19. Sa kabila nito, nais naming magbahagi ng ilang mga kaalaman tungkol sa mga posibleng paraan para maidaos natin ang mga papalapit na okasyon ng masaya at masigla kahit pa nasa malayo ang ating mga mahal sa buhay. Ngayong araw, ikinalulugod naming makasama ang dalawang kagalang-galang na tagapagsalita na magbabahagi ng kanilang mga kaalaman tungkol sa pagpaplano ng mga party. Lubos po ang aming pasasalamat kay Ms. Dorothy Hope Matriano at Ms. Star Asuncion sa pagtanggap po ninyo ng aming imbitasyon. At para po sa lahat ng ating participants na nagbigay ng kanilang oras para dumalo sa webinar na ito, maraming salamat po. Sana ay makatulong po ang pagdalo nyo rito sa pagkakaroon ng mas maligaya at ligtas na pagdiriwang, lalo't lalo na ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya.
Thank you, Ms. Carlos. And now, let me introduce our first speaker for today. In addition to being a corporate events director and an assistant director for commercials, she is also a theater, TV, and movie actress. As her job includes conceptualizing and executing corporate and commercial face-to-face events, she put her creativity skills to the test over the course of the pandemic. She didn't let fear get in the way of figuring out how to throw fun home parties, all while following safety precautions and keeping them light on the pocket. Our first speaker is also the owner of two businesses, Touch of Hope, whose products include menthol oil, stick balms, soy candles, colognes, and decorative soaps, and Taste of Hope, whose products include Korean food, bottled sauces, and gummy candies. Both businesses were actually started during the pandemic. Now, let us all welcome Miss Dorothy Hope Matriano, or rather, Miss Hope, as she prefers to be called.
Yan, bringing home the party. So maraming salamat po at I am Hope Matriano, Dorothy Hope Matriano. Yes, I was an artist true and blue, no, sa teatro, taga-teatro, pelikula at saka sa TV. But rarely do I do those things now because I now direct mga corporate events. Before I used to do also commercials. I do 80 jobs for commercials, but now my main is directing corporate events. But since ang naatas sa akin today is bringing home the party sa bahay, no? So, thank you. Magta-thank you muna ako sa UP Corps of sponsors because they provide participants with practical seminars or webinars na ginagawa ninyo, and we appreciate that there is a group that can, give the students or maski hindi mga students na mga ganitong klaseng webinars that you can learn. I think the last one was about time management, no? So now it's about how do we deal with the having parties kahit na may pandemic. So I will start with saying something new. So sabi, change is inevitable, di ba? So meaning equals, pag sinabi mo change is inevitable, there will always be something new. No? And this COVID-19 is something new to all of us. So nung dumating ang pandemic, lahat nagkagulo, hindi natin alam anong gagawin natin. And people get so depressed, people lost their jobs, yung iba wala ng pera, yung iba had to stay home. Hindi tayo pwedeng magpagkita sa ating mga families only via the use of social media. So Messenger, Viber, WhatsApp, lahat na nang pwede. Hanggang ngayon may Telegram na, di ba? So lahat kami ng mga, anong tawag ba sa amin? Millennials, mga seniors na millennials, no? So natuto kami. Hindi kagaya ngayon ng inyong mga kabataan, it's so easy for you to work around with the virtual world. Unlike us, medyo challenging sa amin. But we kept on learning and nakaka-adjust naman na kami so far. So, ang sabi, when the pandemic came, we are not prepared. So that's always something new. COVID-19 equals, pag sinabi mong COVID-19 equals, negative, di ba? Negative connotation ang pandemic. But hindi during pandemic, for me sa akin, marami ako natutunan. Hindi siya naging blessing lang talaga completely, but it opened so many doors for me. The pandemic is for me is a blessing. So how do we make a negative into a positive? Ako always sa in anything that happens to me, I find negative things to be exciting. Why? Because it's a challenge for you. It's something to work on. So, paano ba siya mataturn into positive? Ako always ganun ang ano ko eh. Ganun ang mentality ko. When something really hard hits you, ano bang gagawin mo? But nothing but to go up, diba? Nothing but to go positive. So ano bang ano doon? Ako ang nakikita kong root word is adapt. Kailangan matuto tayong mag-adapt. Adjust and get through the change. So ano ba yung mga change? In life, lagi tayong mayroong mga changes, diba? Like nung bata ka, definitely hindi ka pa marunong maglakad, nakapaglakad ka. Later on, pagka dumating ka na sa elementary, dati hindi ka marunong mag-math, hindi ka marunong magbasa, hindi ka marunong, and yet you will learn because nag-a-adapt ka sa new changes. Kung sakaling lumipat kayo ng bahay, may ibang environment, mag-a-adapt ka. So there's always something happening in our lives that we just need to learn how to adapt. And ganoon ang ginawa namin sa family ko. So I will show you my family. You know, yung family ko, we started, nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, we started to form a group messenger. So messenger was the easiest tool namin to work around kasi not all have Vibers at the time, no? Kasi meron kaming lola, meron kaming isang nasa Singapore, which is pamangkin ko na pinalaki ko, and then another one nasa Palawan. Inabutan siya ng pandemic sa Palawan, which is in the family ng wife niya, and they decided not to go back here and stay there. Up to now, they're there. So bakit nagkaroon ng messenger group? The messenger group basically gives you status report of each other. Getting to know anong nangyayari. The do's and don'ts. O, wag nyo daw gawin to. O, this is the step. O, magpapavaccine na daw. O, mayroon na daw ganito. O, kailangan magpa-RT-PCR. Noon, swab lang. Ngayon, RT-PCR na. Diba? And then, what are the news now that is current? Ano na ba nangyayari dyan sa inyo sa Singapore? Ano nangyayari dyan sa Palawan? Ano nangyayari dito sa Manila? And then, we give encouragements. When someone is down, that's where we get to talk to each other and say, hello, kaya yan, kaya mo yan, in Jesus' name, kaya mo yan, okay? And then until the time that we can already see each other. Kasi dumating naman yung moment, di ba? I think that was 2020, na meron ng month na pwede na tayong magkita-kita. Pwede na tayong magkita-kita. And then, ang tawag dito, since we live nearby, because this is a compound, no? This is a compound. So my sister lives on the other side. My brother lives also in Mandaluyong, which is about 4 blocks or 5 blocks away from my area. So it's a bit easier, no, to see each other. Now, ano ba ang mga ginagawa naming tips to make sure na pwede na kaming magkita-kita? If amen, ang aming pamilya, mababait in a sense, hindi matitigas ang ulo. So when we say na do not go out, do not go out. If you can buy everything and ipa-deliver, magpa-deliver ka. And then outside, you have a deposit of your delivery staff so that, and then there's an alcohol or whatever na pwede mong gamitin to wipe, and a tissue, wipe mo, or meron din kaming, alam mo tong swabs, mga cotton swabs that you can wipe in all the materials na meron ka. And then if ever anybody goes out, let's say grocery, or kailangan talaga they need to go and check in their offices or whatever, that person will stay inside and will not show up mga 3 days to 5 days. Kasi ang sabi nila, you can only check kung nahawa ka or ano in good of 3 to 5 days before you will know if nakahawa ka or nahawa ka. So that is the policy. If somebody gets cough or colds, kailangan kuha na ng dugo or magpa-swab. Pero worst case na yung swab. But because in my case, I do events, so uso sa amin, that when you go out and have a show, kailangan ka magpa-RT-PCR. So that one, in my case, nakakalibre ako on that case. But kasi medyo mahal din siya. There's also but because I work in a production, so may mga suppliers din na, kung 5 kayong magpapaswab, you get it on a cheaper rate. You get it on a cheaper rate kasi 5 kayo in let's say, just in one area. But at sila ang pumupunta sa house mo. Meron din ganon. There's also a drive-in wherein you can get your swabs. The drive-thru ka lang, and then they will swab you, and then after 24 hours, you'll get your results. And then, nauso naman ang vaccine. So, amen. Everybody in our family is already vaccinated because the youngest is 18 years old, si Ali. But we have 2 grandchildren, yon hindi pa yon vaccinated. So that's why we're also very careful because we have 2 little kids, no? And then after the ma-check kayong lahat and nakita na sa news na pwede na, then we started seeing each other. So, how do we prepare ba? How did we prepare the party? Number 1, we set a date. So in the messenger, we set a date. O, kailan tayo magkikita-kita? So for example, birthday ni ganito, then we agree on a certain date that everybody is available. Kung may lumabas, for example, and he needed the 3-day or the 5-day quarantine, then we do it right after that. So importante, we set a date. And then we theme the party, contributions, preparation. So I'll explain one by one. Theme. Okay, madali lang mag-party pag may theme. So these are samples of what we do lang in the house, no? Very basic. Just balloons, and then we just, buy itong mga which is all online. Shopee. That's about the balloons is about 100 pesos. May makukuha ka pang 50 pesos, may makukuha ka. Kailangan lang when you prepare early kasi because of the delivery dates, you have to consider those dates kasi easy. And then cake, you can buy it anywhere. We just buy mga candles that are okay tingnan, Sige pa, the next picture please. This is nung nag-1-year-old, can you go back lang please? This is nung nag-1-year-old yung apo ko. So we decided, he wanted Batman, so nag-black and yellow lang. Good, amen, yung aking family is puro game kami, no? So when you say black and yellow, everybody is in black and yellow. Okay? Then next. This is a 18th birthday. Ito kasing 18th birthday, diyan kami actually nag-start mag-party sa house because my pamangkin supposed to be magpa-party outside. Bigla uling nag-lockdown. So the party was just, we brought it here in the house. So we were forced, and then we started na nung pwede na. We decided na we'll do it all the parties here sa bahay na lang or outside. Okay? And then after nun, contribution. Yes. When we say contribution, every person in the family kailangan i-involve mo so that it becomes cheaper. So let's say, for example, yung isa mahilig sa BTS, so somebody takes care of the cake topper. So we just buy a regular cake, and then yung toppers na lang ang nagmumukhang theme, no? And then in charge, kung sinong in charge sa food. Pwede rin yun. Kung sino yung may mga trabaho, for instance, yung isa may regular work, gives a greater contribution for the food. So, kanya-kanya. Of course, nung umpisa, nung nagpa-party kami, of course, hindi ka magbo-buffet. Kasi, for sanity and for para lang sure, mas maganda per personalized. Meaning, naka-lunchbox or per person ang per plate ang food mo. But later on, ngayon na medyo okay na, nagbo-buffet na kami. Nagbo-buffet na kami ng serving ng food namin. Ano na siya, either naka-portion or naka-plate. Yeah. Next, please. Okay. In preparation, the same thing din. Ano kami, kanya-kanya din kami ng ano. So kung meron kami in charge for the games na ano, merong isa sa kanila is in charge, whether for the prizes, anong games ang gagawin, o anong pakulo ang gagawin natin for that party. Even mga apo ko na dalawa, ayan, we start teaching them already. Sorry. Si Caitlin is 4 years old, but she already knows how to blow the balloon, ano ng mga balloons, at magsabi sa kanya, alam na niya more or less where to put it, and she would say na, ay, it's ugly, or ay, Lola, it's good, it's nice, it's pretty, so that later on, you know, we don't know how long the pandemic is, she will know already and have that appreciation and the arts na makakaya niya. And somebody has to cook. So in our family, we love to eat. So most of us knows how to cook. But there are also some who doesn't and will just eat, no? So yung mga hindi marunong magluto will be the one doing the other preparations, the decorations, and the whatever. Okay? Okay. We start parties always with a prayer. Because in the prayer, that's where you thank the Lord, no, that you are able to have this party. You pray for each other's safety. You pray for each other's health. Pray for more blessings to come for the family. And of course, honoring the person who is supposed to be the celebrant. If it's her birthday, it's the wedding anniversary, or it's a simple graduation, because magkakasama kayo, naging parang almost 2 years. So parang dadaanan natin lahat ng celebration, di ba? So we just are thankful that nobody got sick during this pandemic. Kasi alam nyo naman, kahit anong careful natin, the virus is a virus, and you know, it can hit anyone. But amen, in our family, walang na-hit sa amin. We're all in good health in Jesus' name. And 3 of in our family are already going back to the office regularly. So amen then, wala. There's nothing wrong. Amen. Untoward incidents, nothing also. Okay. And then, of course, photo off. Meaning you document everything, no? Document everything, because you can always go back to in anything na ano. Kung may questions ka, like for example, sa ko ba hinang yung ano before? How did we hang it? Or how did we decorate it? It's easy. And then, we do color codings, meaning that's na lang the easiest way, and hindi siya expensive. So whatever you have in the house na ka-color or ka-ano, use it. And then the decorations, pwedeng wala rin decoration. What is important basically is the togetherness. Andyan kayo lahat. And then in the photo op, if you notice, ayun, no, meron kami doon isa na naka-phone, kasi naka-video na lang yung iba namin family member, which is the one in Singapore and the one in Palawan. So just for the photo op, kasama lang din sila. Parang kasama sila sa photo op, and may fun out of it, no? And then next, please. Yeah. So the party proper. So how do we go with the party? Very simple. Sometimes we have games, no? Ang games namin are very simple. We don't really drink, but for the sake of the games, eto, play natin, please. Ayan, si Lola, sinasama namin sa saya, at si Lolo. Just to make it happy. Ayan. So there are Small cash prizes or sometimes... Okay, that's it. Thank you. Just to be able to, you know, have fun together. And then, itong last Halloween, you know, we just for the sake of the kids having the idea, you know, of and the experience of having a Halloween. So we decided to dress each other's up, you know, and just to have fun. And it's just an orange and black design decor in the house. And then the food is just very simple. If you notice, it's just nachos and chicken and fries. Ang yata lang yan. Just to be able to celebrate it. A very simple celebration. Okay, next. You know, you can move all the furnitures in the house. Ito, may projector lang kami. We bounce it on the wall. We decided to watch for the kids. It's basically for the kids, para lang to enjoy the party. This one is Christmas. We just decided to also to watch that I think this was last year, 2020, yeah. And then okay, fast na to, matatapos na. And then ito yung we just outside, we just in the wall, we just do a projector and then ganun lang din. May kunyari may roller coasters ride just for the kids to enjoy. Okay, and then we also isang entertainment, you know, yung old videos ninyo when they were kids, just for them to see how they look like when they were kids. Okay. And then what is important basically is after the party. The important thing, you need to clean up. So everybody cleans up, everybody packs up, everybody takes their takeout just in case there are leftovers. And then we set up the next gathering. Nagde-decide na kami what to wear, anong theme, ganun ang nangyayari doon. And then, you know, importante sa lahat when you have a party, please next slide. Ito yung learning ko. Find every opportunity to spend time with the people you love. Because you don't know, one day they're here, one day they're not there anymore. So what is important is that you celebrate it with your loved ones. No matter how you celebrate it, hindi yun ang question. The question is you celebrate it with them. Ako, ang ano ko lang, life is too short. Make the most out of it. Appreciate people by spending time with them. Life is good when you're having fun. Find fun in everything that you do para masaya ang buhay. Because, you know, I choose the spirit of joy over any negative things in this world because we have a great and a good God. So, first and foremost, si God lahat yan. Blessing lahat sa atin ni Lord yan. So, let's just enjoy this pandemic with or without money, as long as you are with your loved one. That's great. And you'll be able to have a party. That's it.
Thank you so much, Miss Hope. With the holidays in full swing, I'm sure we'll all be able to put your tips and advice to use. And thank you for showing the pictures and videos of your family. They were very heartwarming to see how you spend your time with your loved ones. But now we move on to our next speaker. She is a DMI certified digital marketing professional and registered financial planner with more than a decade's experience in the financial industry, currently working at Prism Code Philippines, a software company that specializes in event technology and brand activation through web and mobile applications, and is also known for hosting creative and memorable virtual events. With her background, skills, and the nature of her work at Prism Code, she has also conceptualized and executed virtual events for various corporations, businesses, and clients. Everyone, let us all welcome Ms. Star Asuncion.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. Okay, let me just share my screen. So, as mentioned, I am Star Asuncion. I'm from Prism Code. We are actually an event tech company, and I'm here to share with you some of the things that we did for corporations and hopefully trickle it down sa setup ng bahay. Okay, so quick tips, and hope you get to learn from this short presentation. So allow me to share my screen. Okay. All right, there. Okay, can you see my screen now? All right. So the last pandemic, or actually the pandemic has taught us a lot of things. Can you see my screen? Nababasa nyo naman po kung anong nakasabi dyan? Diba? When pandemic hit, technically we're locked down, but we're not actually secluded from each other. Why? Because technology is our biggest ally. Technology helped us connect with our loved ones kahit na nasa kwarto tayo lang or nasa bahay lang tayo away from them. In fact, ang laki ng tulong ng technology sa atin, 'di ba? Napansin niyo ba? 'Di ba? A family interacting with another family through their laptop. Sila lola at sila lolo, they get to learn to talk through the computer, to converse with their family. Also, we also do our exercises aided by laptops or computers. Diba? Kaya nga parang hindi na ngayon excuse na hindi ako makapag-exercise. Kasi ang gym, nasa isang maliit na lang na screen na device natin at pwede na tayong sumunod. Ito pa yung nakakatawa. Dahil minsan overwork tayo, diba? O di kaya napupuyat tayong manood ng Netflix. Minsan ang katabi natin hindi na tao, pero computer natin. Guilty. Guilty ako niyan minsan. And tingin ko iba sa inyo, ganun din ang nangyayari sa kanila. Okay? Before ako mag-dwell siguro sa mga bagay na gusto kong i-share sa inyo, allow me lang to give you a quick background about our company. Na-mention nga po that the name of our company is Prism Code Philippines. Okay? And we are actually an event tech company. So pag sinabi nating event tech company, pwede natin siyang sabihin na we do customized software or app development. Before the pandemic, we also do games. We also do virtual and augmented reality. Ito yung mga pag nilapat mo yung iyong phone over an item, and then there are executions that you will see on your screen. Also, if you have a device, yung parang Ready One player, so we also devise games for that and other executions or activation, depende kung sino po yung gusto at kung ano po yung gusto ng ating mga clients. The last ever event that we had before the pandemic struck was an event with CFA Philippines with 3,000 plus attendees. We developed an application for them to guide them through the registration and through the program process, which is actually a 2-day event. It was a fun, very fun activity that somehow helped us pivot to virtual come 2020. Kasi naisip namin, if people can actually use a platform or a phone in communicating while they are inside the hotel, diba? Parang attending a seminar, it could also be a way for them to converse virtually now that the pandemic is here. So sabi namin, there is only one mindset that we should always take note of. That is, why not recreate the experience from a physical event, diba yung face-to-face, nasa hotel kayo, to a virtual event. So technically, ang ginagawa namin po talaga is to recreate the whole hotel experience and the engagement. And what happens behind the scene is that we work na together with production people. Kami po tong team na to, kami yung sa development part. So while they are actually showing something sa webinar page or sa kanilang live stream page, we are actually managing the other engagement activities before the main program. How is that? We manage the games. We make sure that everybody is enjoying the games before they go to the seminar. We also make sure that their photo booth is actually there. Alam nyo ba, like they can take a lot of pictures, enjoy the experience. So we do support these things before the main program. That's why we work closely with the production team to ensure that we transition the attendee from virtual lobby to the main page kung saan actually nangyayari naman ang lahat ng mga talks and performances ng mga speakers and program organizers. Allow me to share lang some clips of how actually an execution of a stage is kapag virtual. This is something that we did with Red Events, okay, a reputable events company. So, ito yung magiging screen natin. Parang Zoom, di ba? So, nakikreate kami ng page na ganyan at nandyan yung chat box. Imagine yun how creative minds are in setting up this stage virtually. So, lalabas ngayon yung singer and she will actually sing in a virtual background. So kahit na wala tayo dun sa actual na event kung saan pwede nating i-dress up ang isang place to look like this one, we can do it actually virtually. Okay. Another thing, dati nami-miss natin yung group photo booth. Okay. But we were able to merge the physical and the virtual experience through a group boomerang. What happens is that we just invite people na attendees dun sa event na yon, give them a link, okay, log in to the platform or the web that we are using, and you can actually talk like sa Zoom and take a boomerang shot. This one can be a group photo or a boomerang. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na ngayon excuse na ang layo-layo-layo ko para magkaroon tayo ng group photo because that is actually possible already through the platform that we have developed. Okay. Another thing that we created to make sure that there's engagement. Kasi, di ba, parang ang nangyayari, nakakalungkot that you're watching an event and you don't actually see other attendees. So inspired by that need or inspired by that idea but by other attendees, we created what we call a virtual fan gallery. So again, ito yung ating parang player, yung parang nakikita nyo ngayon kung saan ako nagsasalita at ito yung chat box. Ang gagawin niyan is ito-turn on mo yung iyong camera. Pagka-turn on mo ng iyong camera, ang production team naman na mag-manage nitong setup na to can actually show you on the live stream page na hindi mo na kailangan lumabas pa ng site para mag-log in sa Zoom because we can actually do that. You can wave to other people, you can say hi, you can even say a placard and say, hello po, I am from Cebu, I am from Surigao, binabati ko po kayo yung lahat. You can do a lot of things depending on how the host can actually encourage everyone to interact. So these things are actually possible through a platform that we created, and corporate clients who we have are actually using this one. Okay. Now, the next question po ay, paano ko naman yan mako-convert from a corporate virtual scene sa bahay? Kasi syempre, medyo mahal naman talaga kapag magsiset up ka ng, para bang every time may event kami, nakikreate kami ng bagong hotel. Diba? Iiba yung look, iba yung itsura, iba yung theme. Kung makikita nyo nga dito, this is actually a Christmas party of a client of ours who created a virtual plaza na ang theme nila ay K-drama or K-pop. So nakikita nyo kapag pasok nyo palang login nyo, diba? Meron siyang ganitong klaseng park where you can stay there, go around, and go to different pages. Now, ano bang importante? How do we convert the engagement from corporate to our homes? Punta muna tayo sa pinaka-foundation, and Direct Hope shared that also, but let me share it from technical perspective. I think merong tatlong bagay na importante para tayo makapag-stage ng virtual party. Okay? Unang-una, dapat alamin natin kung ano yung communication platform. Example niyan yung ginagamit natin ngayon, Zoom. Diba? So, ang consideration natin dyan is, ano ba yung communication platform na mag-fit doon sa ating event? Okay? At ano ba yung communication platform na madali para sa lahat na mag-access, mag-download, at mag-connect. So importante yan kasi we're actually thinking virtual. Second, I will never undermine the importance of a host. Okay, I will dwell later why it's important that the host should be part of a successful virtual event. Kasi siya talaga ang magdadala at makikirelate sa mga attendees ng ating event. At pangatlo, of course, ay ano ba yung mga engagement activities na pwede nating gawin, 'di ba? Habang tayo ay nasa loob ng platform. Okay, I will dwell on that quickly one by one. So let's look at the communication platform. Ito, alam ko very familiar na kayo sa Zoom. We're using it right now. We also have Google Meet. Okay? Yung mga kabataan natin na gamers, they like Discord. The reason that they like Discord is sabi nila hindi daw masyadong makonsumo ng bandwidth or data kapag sila ay nandoon sa platform na yon. Others naman are actually using Facebook Messenger, especially for families, by creating a room and talking to each other via video call. Ang pinaka-importante sa lahat when choosing a platform is that there should be a way for you to screen share. Because you have to be very visually appealing when doing a virtual party. Dapat may kasama kang mga slides. Dapat kung meron kang gustong i-share na application na sasagot yung mga attendee, dapat you'll be able to share it. Napapansin nyo kung bakit ako naka-asterisk yung Facebook Messenger, I think you have to test it also because baka may limitation in terms of audio. Okay? Because the person who is sharing the screen should be able to talk as well. So you have to see that ang host natin na nag-share ng screen dapat can communicate. That's why I always tell people, if you want to do live hosting, virtual hosting, there should also be another device wherein they can share their screen. Para nakikita nyo pareho kung ano yung nangyayari. And you can be very animated when you are interacting with your fellow attendees of the event. Okay, so since I talked about the host, let me dwell on the important role of a host in a virtual party. Dapat ang host natin lively. Depende actually kasi may virtual burol. Okay, so kung mag-virtual burol naman, hindi naman po pwedeng nagpapatawa yung host natin. Okay, so lively in a sense that it is appropriate. Okay, lively, they should be very astute, very energetic. And even if it's a virtual burol, which I also organize for a family, actually, they should be able to, entice everyone to participate. If they need to stand up, if they want to share, they should be forceful and energetic enough to entice people to action. Okay. For a virtual party, especially for birthday parties and mga engagement parties, we always encourage attendees to turn their camera on. I think that's very important. They should. If they need to prepare 30 minutes before the event to do their makeup, to fix their hair, do it. Because you are there actually to engage. And people would like to see how you look like, how if the joke is funny, they want you to see smiling. They want to see that you are really interested in the program. So we do encourage that people doing virtual events should actually turn their camera on. However, the host should be able also to manage the mic usage because ang nagkakasapawan and you don't want the room to be really rowdy that people cannot hear themselves. So if it's okay if they're rowdy, if the situation calls for it. But for example, it's an event that has a game, okay, and you want one person to answer or gets to answer first would win a prize. Of course, you would like to hear who the first person to answer, who the first person who answered, diba? So it's really important that the host should be wise enough, diba, and has presence of mind to see, oh, guys, you really have to turn all your microphone off, okay? just turn your camera on. Things like that. Dapat sensitive yung host natin in knowing what is the real discarte to engage the attendees. And this is the most important. The host should be able to know how to use the platform, okay? Because there's no, how do you call that? Parang KJ sa party, if bigla na lang yung host na sabi, sandali lang guys, technical problem. Sandali lang guys, technical problem. Just because the host doesn't know how to use the platform. So the host should know how to use a platform, but at the same time, the host has to know how to teach others to use the platform. I'll give you an example. When the pandemic started, parang I said I sponsored like a photo booth to my family. So sabi ko, kayang-kaya yan. Because I was so used to people knowing how to use the platform. So I was thinking like, sige, kaya yan ng family. Instead na nag-enjoy yung mga titas ko, they actually did not take any picture because they felt so overwhelmed with the use of the platform. So yung host ngayon, tinatanong sila na, paano ba to gawin? Paano to gawin? So parang yung host, nakakatuloy yung program because of that. My point is that if there is like other activities that may require assistance, you might want to put it at the first part of the program so that when the host is starting na their program proper, wala na yung magtatanong na, ay, hindi ako makakuha ng photo, paano ba yun? Diba? So nakakat. So yung ibang mga attendees are actually seamless in experiencing other activities would really be distracted. And sometimes when they are distracted, tatayo muna yan kasi iniisip nila, sinasagot pa naman yung question ng nila tita o ng ibang attendee. So you have to program up anything that needs a learning process for the attendees. You might want to put that ahead before the event proper. Okay, so the host should be able to teach the attendees as well. Okay, so that they can allow the attendees to enjoy all the activities. Okay, when it comes to engagement activities, marami tayong pwedeng gawin. Alam ko baka medyo familiar na kayo dito kasi nag-Zoom, di ba? Tapos yung power of screen sharing. So sa Zoom at sa mga iba nating mga platform, pwede naman mag-polling. Meron ako nakita nag-share ng screen para sumasagot ng puzzle. Tapos yung sagot nila, pina-flash nila dun sa Zoom. Like what I'm doing right now, like a flash mo lang yung sagot mo, di ba? So the host gets to manage actually who answers first. And then there's also trivia. Merong isang crazy idea kami for isang party ng pamangkin namin na tara mag-bring me tayo, virtual Sabi niya, paano natin malalaman kung sino yung nauna sa bring me? Sabi niya gano'n, sino unang nag-turn on ng camera? Parang gano'n. So mag-start kayo, lahat kayo naka-turn off ng camera. So host lang yung naririnig. So bring me 1,000 peso bill. So ngayon lahat sila mag-turn on. Medyo, it might not work, for a very big group, but for smaller groups, that might work. Okay? And so, meron din silang mga listahan, like, give me 10 lists of the top songs of this one. So, parang, pwede rin yun maging parang trivia game, and then you can just share your screen. Okay? My suggestion, if you can, is that you might want to support all these activities visually. Okay, like hindi puro talkies na ikaw lang host ang nakikita. You might want to, encourage or do extra effort on slides, especially make it very visual. And if you can also share audio, like for example, yung countdown, diba? Like, oh guys, you need to answer this in 5, 4, 3. Siguro yung countdown, lagyan ng konting, music para naman feel nila na kahit these things are happening virtually, it's still parang, something na live sa kanilang experience. Okay. So what else are the activities that you can actually do virtually? Yan yung sinasabi kong photo booth. You can do photo booth. You share a link to all your family members and they can actually take pictures, attach stickers to it. So ang tanong ngayon, Star, ayan, ginawa nyo kasi, meron bang available sa site online that you can actually have a photo booth without talking to a software developer? alam mo yon, para gumawa ng photo booth. Actually, in some cases, I'm actually accessing this virtualbooth.me, like for internal or for our family. I just create the slides for like this one, and then I share the link for them to take a picture or a boomerang. So how much is this one? I'm not very sure. I think it's around 1,000 to 2,000 pesos, and that's for a month. So if you have a birthday or party tatlo in a month, then you can actually create a photo booth for all these events. Okay, so that's for the family. And you may konting maliit lang na learning process. But I think if you're familiar naman with Word, how to run the Word na documents, ganyan, it may be quite naman easy for you to adopt, diba? To set up the photo booth frames or to add stickers, things like that. But these things you can study and you can actually do it this Christmas. Diba? Hindi ko po ito produkto, but I'm just sharing tips because we're using it sometimes. Me personally, I use it for my family. Okay? Kasi I don't want naman to engage my people for personal na mga activities na ganito na I can actually do it on my own. Okay. Another thing that you will be surprised is that you can also do karaoke. Okay, pwedeng ganito kasi yan. Punta ka ng YouTube, mag-Zoom tayo, correct? Pagkatapos nun, merong VJ. So yung VJ na yon, sasabihin niya na, o sige, ito yung request ko, so ita-type mo sa YouTube, di ba? Problema sa YouTube is that kapag hindi ka naka-premier or premium membership, then you'll have ads. So parang minsan hassle siya, di ba? Kapag lalabas yung ads habang pinapakita mo yung YouTube. Now, this Carafund app actually is very useful, and I'm gonna use it with you right now so you can see how it works. It's not also our product. It's actually, we use it for some events, okay? But it's fun. It's actually fun, okay? Let me just share with you how it works, okay? So, just, okay. Now, what you do is that, I will share my screen. Ayan. What you do now is that, can you do it for me, guys? Can you scan the QR code right now? Because that QR code will lead you to an app, okay? It's safe. You log in your name and you can actually choose a song. Okay, so wala nang, ang gagawin na lang ng BJ is to really, entertain you guys. But this one is quite, walang nagtatry. Come on, guys. Let me see kung meron magtatry. Can you access now the code? Okay.
Yes po, ma'am.
Yan. So, try to go and click a song. And there you go. Hi, Mix. You're going to sing now? Okay. See? So, tapos ang mangyayari niyan, makikita mo kung sino yung next na performer. Kita mo? So, si Kryptonite is not, yan. So, there. Diba? So, see? So, you can, and even the sound quality is nice. Ang technique mo lang zoom and have turn on the original sound. Okay? So, it's there. So, it's available. And you can actually share it to your, okay, you can stop it using your app, 'di ba? Wala nang VJ, wala ka nang uutusan na pwede bang pa-click to, pwedeng pahanap tong kanta na to, wala na. So you just have to enter the code or choose a song, okay, and then just play it and then lalabas na yung mga cue natin. Okay? So that's Carafun. Let's see. Okay. So pag tinanong mo ko, Sar, mahal ba yan? Hindi, may subscription sila na monthly and you can actually cancel, okay? You can actually cancel the subscription. I think it's around 3,000, 4,000 per month. But if you want to make it a business, like you want to set it up as a business, you have to talk to them directly. But it's there. It's actually a good option. I don't think it's really that expensive, diba? But it's actually a good app or platform for you to have fun. All you have to do is what I did now. Share your screen, 'di ba? Let the app play. Okay, and then let others scan the QR code so that they can choose a song and then wait for your cue. And then pag naka-open naman lahat ng camera, 'di ba? Kakanta yung ibang tao habang kumakanta ka. Ito lang ang tip ko sa mga host. Pag may kumakanta and you want to respect naman na this is my time to shine, other attendees should be able to turn off their microphone para yung maboses lang nung kumakanta sa Zoom or kung anumang platform you use ang maririnig. Okay, so that's a virtual karaoke app and it's actually fun. It's really fun. Okay, so that's all I can share right now. So thank you so much for your time and I hope you learned something. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Star. Those are definitely creative ways for us to celebrate virtually. I didn't even know some of these programs existed. And admittedly, you got us very excited with that Cara Fun link. So thank you. And now we will be opening the floor for questions from our audience. So, Ms. Star, please turn your camera on and your mic. And Ms. Hope, you as well, please turn your camera on and your mic. All right, so are we ready? We have quite a few questions today, so let's begin. Our first question is for Ms. Hope. Ms. Hope, your question is, what's the safe average number of people to attend a party that's held within 5 square meters of an area?
Okay, ito yung rule, no? At least 10%. 10% of the total space. So if, for example, the space can have 100 people, then the 10% is about, kung 110, 10 people. Ganon. So kung ang liit lang talaga ng space mo, and then you have, let's say, 10 people talaga involved, no? Kunyari, 10 kayo in the family. Sometimes naman, it's not really, it's really how you manage and yung proximity nyo sa isa't isa. You can also, as long as you live in one house kasi, in one, talagang kayo pwede na kayo magkadikit-dikit eh. It's lang if you don't know each other, you belong to different houses, that's when it's become difficult and mas stricto. Then 10% works. But now I think 30% na yata to 50. That's the new rule now, 30 to 50. But because there's a new, which is the new variant, wala pa naman silang binibigay ngayon. Wala pang rules. So far, yung pa rin ang sinusunod natin. Right, Star? When we do shoots, it's about 30 to 50% of the, pwede na ngayon. Pero of course, if you want to be very strict about it, ako in my house, we still don't invite people from the outside. So it's just us, yung family. But, and if ever nga, if one goes to work, like yung brother ko goes to work, kailangan niya ng 3 to 5 days na hindi muna siya magpakita sa amin.
3 to 5 days pa na quarantine, ano?
Quarantine siya. I mean, hindi naman quarantine, hindi siya lalabas, but at least 5, kasi doon mo makukuha ang symptoms, anak eh. 3 to 5 days. Doon mo lang siya ma-realize that you have it. So just to be on a safer side, especially we have little kids here in the compound, that's the rule. You cannot, ikaw naman you know naman by yourself if you went out, like if you went to the grocery, that's definitely an out from the house. Then that means you need to safeguard yourself also. The rule, 3 days to 5 days at least. Watch out. If you get already mga symptoms like cough or whatever, ayun na. Alam mo na, then get an RT-PCR muna, and then, may mga kit naman na bibili ngayon. Like 1,000 pesos, you already have 25 strips. Parang ganyan. Pero that's blood. kukuha ka, may iba din sa live. So, may mga ganong ano na ngayon. It's, meron ding RT-PCR that can go to your house nga. Kasi ano na yon, that's mas madami kayo, much better. Like 5 people, ganyan. Minimum yata I think is 2 or 3 to be able to make them come to your house.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Hope. So everyone, remember, if you want to host a party, then maybe keep it around 10% of the space. So our next question is for Ms. Star. Ms. Star, this is your question. How would you encourage people to participate or go to virtual events? Are slideshows recommended at all virtual events?
Rule of thumb is that you have to be more visually appealing and how do you call that? Audio appealing? I mean, the point is that it's really boring
Engaging.
to stay, engaging. It's really boring to stay at home and then look at people lang on your screen, diba? So yes, I would always recommend to use slide presentation.
And if I can add to that, no? Kasi ito lang yung isipin ninyo. Especially Filipino audience is a tough audience. Ang kanilang span of is very short. So if you are not engaging enough, they'll turn it off.
Yeah.
They'll move. They'll either find ways, they'll look at their cell phones and double on whatever, or talk to someone, or do a wee-wee break, and you're already done. You're gone. So pag once na hindi mo na sila na control in the that's it. You can also gauge, like our participant when we started was what, 40? Then now it's 84. So that means it's increasing. Then that means people are in tune. Now, if I see that this 84 becomes what, 20, 40, and then it becomes 10, then that means you're not engaging them.
Yeah.
You're not
Correct.
into them.
Saka dagdag pala ako, not only just use slide presentations, no words. It should not be very wordy. As much as possible, focus on visuals, focus on pictures,
Video.
focus on spaces. Yes, video. And like this one, yung nakikita natin sa screen right now, diba? Kung nilagyan mo yan ng open forum, bringing home to the party, tapos number 1, number 2, number 3, lahat ng mga words na dyan, sige, picture na lang namin ni Direk Hope ang ilagay nyo dyan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you also have to manage. And I do remember one comment that we had. I don't know, Derek Hope, kung ikaw yung kasama ko dito. The client, after the day 1 event, said, can we change the slides being presented by the speakers? Because it's so maliit, especially if it's a webinar. I want the font to be really readable, alam mo yon, and colorful at least. Diba? So that hindi lang parang nasa, coupon bandi, sana nagbasa na lang ko ng libro. Diba? Parang ganon. Yan. Things like that.
Very true.
So everyone, listen, because these two are experts at throwing events and keeping people engaged. No wordy slides.
Sorry, one tip. If in your family, you have visual people, meaning may isa magaling mag-drawing, may isa magaling mag-ganito, use them.
Yeah.
Especially the bagets, kayo yung era ninyo, like in my family, ang gumagawa lahat ng mga yan ay yung mga young. Kasi kami, we can just have ideas and tell them, can you add this? Can you do this? Can you ganyan? But basically, the young, it's like, even my 4-year-old granddaughter sa pamangkin knows how to, Lola, that's not nice. Lola, you don't do that. Lola, I mean, So, trust these kids really know what they want and know what they want to see, what they want to experience. So ang lang noon is know nga yung mga do's and don'ts, know yung mga app. Sabi nga nung anak ko, it's so easy to learn.
Yeah.
You just have to double up. Meaning tingnan mo ng tingnan, paglaruan mo ng paglaruan. It doesn't need you to be young, doesn't need you to be old. It's lang yung curiosity helps.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you. Again, wag masyadong wordy sa slides, keep them visually and auditorially appealing, and if you know people, use them. And remember to compensate them well. Now,
True. Okay na ang Jollibee. Okay.
Ms. Star, we have one more question
Okay.
for you, if you don't mind. So I have some people here asking. I mean, they really loved that the karaoke link that you showed us, that karaoke app. But some people are asking, do you know any cheaper alternatives? If you know
Sadly, I
the
don't
free
eh.
ones, that would be great.
I'm kind of very picky on the things that I use. So if I don't get to use it, ibig sabihin, I don't find it efficient. Yun. So I don't, two things lang. What I mentioned earlier, YouTube. Diba? Parang mag-subscribe ka dun sa premier ano, para walang ads. Then you can just actually share it. It's very cheap, and then kailangan mo lang magaling na VJ at magaling mag-type, di ba? Kasi ita-type nila na, sasabihin nila sa chat, oh, gusto kong kantayan ito, ganito, na Easy on Me ni Adele, ganyan. So, hahanapin yan ni YouTube, no? So, that's the cheapest. And it's actually engaging. How much is the premium ng YouTube? I think 200, 199, di ba? Wala nang ads yon. So, that will do. Okay. The reason lang I really like this is that I don't need so much manual intervention. You can choose your own song, 'di ba? And then lalabas yung naka-queue. So if like you're busy at nakita mo yung queue mo pang 10 pa, pwede ka muna mag-chill, get your, bottle of beer and eat, 'di ba? Things like
And then
that.
if you're a group, kung magkano yun, 1,000, kung 10 kayo, tago 100.
Mga 2 to
Eh,
3,000 yung direct eh.
3,000. Still,
3,000.
sabihin mo na, if you go outside and have elsewhere, how much are you gonna spend?
Yeah.
But if
true.
you're just at home, you have your Wi-Fi, you spend 300 or 200, let's say. And the more, the merrier. You can have 30 people.
Yes. Oo.
Diba?
I'm not promoting this
Super.
application. It's just that I'm just sharing ideas. You can check their site, 'di ba? Na very naman sila, very transparent on their pricing. The reason lang that I am sharing this to you is because I think it's something that you might want to consider lang for your virtual parties.
Or another actually, normally, minsan kami, no, in this business, sometimes we don't know also anything. Nagkakagulatan lang kami that one uses this and ganyan. Okay. And then,
Sige, pwede
and
na.
little did you know, sometimes what I do sometimes is, sasabihin nga na anak ko, Ma, why do you ask a lot of questions kay Google na ang haba ng question mo? Pwede mo namang ilagay lang, let's say, apps. Diba? And then it will all come out. But because I want to be very, siguro, it comes in age, no? I don't know. The way naku, old ka na talaga, Ma, because the way you ask questions, like, what is the app that is ganyan, and long, no? But you will be surprised. I get the answers that I want. Like very specific din. Ando na talaga lahat ng, and then you try it out, each one. And then you say, ay, may bayad. Okay, ito ay libre. Ay, ito ganyan. It's really, kung nung panahon namin, let your fingers do the walking using the yellow pages. Now, use your fingers to click and check and So it's basically the same. Wala namang pinag-iba. It's just the medium that is changing. But the idea of searching and studying, and because you cannot get to nowhere if you are not gonna check it out and research, you just have to do an action. Kailangan gumawa ka ng action. Pag hindi ka gumawa ng action, you'll never reach anything or you'll never learn anything.
Ayan, so we have some words of wisdom from Miss Hope, and it also never hurts to be specific. Now, for both speakers, we have this one question. Miss Hope, would you like to go first? This is the question. How should we manage participants sa party na pasaway? Talking about, say, company participants not opening their cameras or etc.
You cannot do anything with them. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi nila trip, hindi nila ma-engage. You can never ask them to. Might as well mute them, might as well get them out in the program. Kasi ako, sa akin, if you don't want, hindi ko lost yun eh. It's their loss basically, because hindi sila ang hindi matututo, sila ang hindi mag-enjoy, sila ang hindi ano. Because if I worry that as a director, for example, and I'm seeing I have 80 and then I have 2 na asungot doon ano na hindi ano, and then that will bring me down and that will bring everybody down. That's not my route to go. My route is hindi ka nag-enjoy, lahat kami nag-enjoy, it's your loss. Now, eventually, pag nakikita niya that everybody's having fun, everybody is ano, and then she will also join. But if she doesn't, unmute mo lang. Unmute mo and then don't mind them. Because that should not be able to destroy you as a person or as a group. Yung dalawang yon, immaterial.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Hope. And Miss Star, what are your thoughts on this? Like, how would you manage participants na pasaway?
Okay. Sabi na direct, wala tayong magagawa kung pasaway siya. But you also have to understand, why am I not opening my camera? Maybe because naka-woke up like this yung appeal ko. Diba? So, it also helps that before the program, sasabihin natin, you will be requested to open your camera the whole time. Things like that. You have to prepare them also. Diba? So, at least they would know and they can, fix themselves up. Diba? So, they will be camera ready. Kasi hindi rin naman maganda, you will ask us to take pictures, diba? Kahit sa Zoom, and then I'm not looking pretty. So, yeah, it helps. Okay. Second is that sometimes you incentivize. Create a game out of, opening the camera. Maybe incentivizing will help them to, and then once they get to be accustomed na, o okay lang naman pala itsura ko dun sa pag nag-open yung camera, for all you know, yung pasaway na yun, hindi na nag-close ng camera, diba? And third, kahit na saan naman tayo pumunta, whether virtual yan or live yan, may pasaway, diba? Sabihin, let it not affect the flow of the program, diba? For all you know, they are happy inside. Hindi lang sila talaga showy, diba? So, yun lang. Those are my thoughts on that matter.
Thank you so much. We have more questions. More questions came in for both speakers. I hope you're sitting down tight and comfortable because we have quite a few to get through. So for both speakers, this question says, I would like to know if they have recommended traditional ways of celebration that don't involve too much modern technology. Ms. Hope, would you like to go first?
You mean virtually or party in the house? Kasi it's hard not to use any, if it's a virtual party, But if it's just in the house, it's easy. Kasi anything, let's say, for example, your family just loves to eat. Concentrate on the food. And chika, that's it. That's already a party by itself. Whether that's a popcorn party, whether that's a money party, it's fine. Because the conversation is the one that is important. The chat, the getting to know each other is the one important. The camaraderie is the one important. Now, if your family is naman maporma, meaning you want to dress up, you want to then focus on that. Have them dressed well. Kahit na kasi nagpapapayat kayong lahat, tititigan nyo lang, drinks lang kayo ng water at saka lang. It's fine. So find the center ng group. If the group just wants not talking to each other and just doing the cell phone thing, pero you just wanted to be together, it's also okay. Then create something that is for cell phones. Use this app. I forgot this app wherein Mentimeter. You can use that. That also has a cost yata. I'm not sure, no? May cost din yon, but very minimal. Mentimeter, it's all answerable in their cell phones. So that's a party that's good for all those ones just using their cell phones. So find a central that is common to all, that will not entail money, and focus on something that is relevant to all para masaya kayong lahat. Kasi kung lahat mahiyain, o cellphone na lang kayong lahat. Kung lahat bibo, mag-games ka. Kahit walang premyo yon, basta may games. Tantos lang, points lang. Ang katapat noon, diba? Yeah.
So there we have it. So for the person who asked that question, Miss Hope recommends that you find a center or something common among your group that you're all into and just focus on that. And Miss Star, what would you like to add?
Okay. It's really difficult to have a virtual party na walang technology. I
True.
mean, I don't actually I cannot imagine how to do that. Okay? Other than sa sinabi ni Direk Hope, ano to Direk eh, alam mo yon hanggang nagiging creative na tayo kahit wala kang pera. 'Di ba? Pero kung gusto mo ng engagement, dapat laging may premyo.
Oo. Yeah, well, oo.
Lagi may premyo, whether pride or load.
Yes. Correct.
You know, a load. Actually, it
Yeah.
works. Eh. Sometimes parang, bring me, pero 10 peso load lang yung ipapasa mo. Things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, Direct Hope naman said a lot of things, diba? Like, finding the common interest among family members. And you know what? When we had this party lang before we closed down early this year, kahit yung mga bata, alam mo yung traditional na laro na pahabaan ng happy birthday. Happy birthday, Stara!
Yeah.
Dapat tapos maglalabas ka lang 20 pesos. Ang daming
Oh, yeah.
nagpa-participate. Diba? So, and then yung bato-bato pick na pag natalo ka, tapos yung pot winner is actually the ano. So,
Yes.
sometimes they bet their 20 pesos for a bigger pot, bato-bato pick. These things actually really do work. Kahit na paulit-ulit mo siyang gawin. Mm-mm.
Thank you, Miss Star.
It's
Miss
it's
Hope and
really
Miss Star.
sorry another.
Ah, yes po.
It's really lang finding joy talaga eh. In whatever you do, kahit ano pa yan, kahit piko, kahit nga yung iba, ano lang eh, yung tic-tac-toe na ganyan naglaro, basta, you just have, the important thing is merong communication. Meron kayong rapport, basta't kasi importante, dalawang tao nagkaroon ng eye contact, nagchikahan, nagngitian, that's already a form of communication. And you already, as long as you pass the message, whether in the form of physical or words or eye contact, telepathy, whatever, that's communication. That's already effective. Effective ka na nun.
And Miss Hope, syempre, pagdating sa parties, yung pinaka-importante naman, kasama mo yung mga mahal mo sa buhay,
Oh
right?
yes, definitely. Kasi how can
Yes.
you party alone? I mean, it's so
Oo
sad.
naman. I mean,
Diba?
wait, Miss Hope naman, pwede rin naman yung party of one. Self-care party, ganun.
Well, pwede, but you have to be very honest pag mag-isa ka. No matter how luxury or no matter how much you spend when you do it alone,
Opo.
hindi siya ganun kasaya. So, kung mag-isa ka naman and you want, may social media, tawag, phone a friend, call a friend. Because, or kung mag-isa ka, you pray. I think that's the best. When you're alone, you pray, yon, sure ako, sasaya ka. No matter where you are.
Okay, so let's move on to our next question. Due to time constraints, we'll have to keep it rolling a bit faster. So we have this one question for both speakers pa rin. My family has tried merging both the physical and virtual in holding our parties, especially because we have relatives abroad and in other parts of the country. Do you have more tips for these merged setups? So, Miss Star, would you like to go first?
Yeah, actually, what you do lang is to have a camera set up sa big screen. You know, the family members here sa Manila can stay together, and then the family wherever they are outside the Philippines can actually do telecon, diba? So virtual calls, things like that, and they can now participate. I mean, that's how you do that, and then think of ways like games that you can actually involve them also. So the beauty of having a camera is that pwede ka rin actually mag-Pictionary. Alam mo ba yun?
Yeah.
Like,
Ah,
pwede
yes.
ka mag-Pictionary eh, kasi naka-camera ka na eh. So they just do these things. There just be lang a channel by which all of you will converge. Yun.
Pwede nga rin mag-ano, henyo.
Ah,
Yeah, we also do that. Eh. Any games that involves basta pwede mo lang i-tweak. You just need to tweak that is relevant sa inyo na easier ninyong You just have to discuss things, paano nyo gagawin. Kaya ginagawa namin sa pamilya namin, may iba na in charge. Kung let's say siya na in charge sa games, next time siya naman na in charge sa games so that naaano lang. Kasi, pagka nag-usap-usap na kayo, magtatawanan na lang kayo and then, sige, ganito. Ibahin na lang natin yung rule kasi mahirap ganyan. And then you agree to disagree or then agree again. And then, little did you know, tapos na yung game, magagawa nyo na.
Oh,
Correct.
Opo. So actually, speaking of games, our next question, well, actually, medyo nasagot na po to. You talked about this before. Pero like, what icebreakers or games did you find most effective in getting people to interact with one another? Like, say po, strangers. Kasi we know na families, syempre kilala nyo na isa't isa. So, mas madali po for you to interact. Pero kung kunwari po strangers, how would you best like give them an icebreaker or a game? Which one would be the most effective? Para sa inyo po.
The bring me, talaga, yan. Never fail yan, bring me. Because everybody wanted to show off whatever they have. At saka, alam mo yan, yung competitiveness ng tao lumalabas pag bring me.
Yes.
Kaya nga up to now, ang lumang game ng bring me, up to now, ginagamit pa rin ng bring me.
Opo. What about you? What other games do you have in mind?
You know, what's interesting, yun nga, sasabihin ko sana yung bring me. Pero yung effective rin, for me, medyo may konting effort, yung magko-costume ka, kahit sa mga strangers.
Yes.
Just tell them that it's a costume party, diba?
Yes.
And then, kapag nag-turn on na siya ng camera, lalo na pag nag-effort siya dun sa costume, once they show it off their costume, they get to introduce themselves, medyo na kukuha mo na yun I think a costume party is also a good play to engage attendees.
Only lang, pagka hindi game ang mga tao sa then 10% normally comes with a costume, but 30-40% doesn't. So, yun lang ang isang downfall ng That's why, yun sabi ko na it's also important that lahat game. Kasi ito yung isa kapag ka 50% or 70% of the people wears a costume and the 30% din, most likely yung 30% ang ma-OP. Kasi sasabihin nila, I should have watched. Kahit hindi niya aminin sa sarili niya, deep down inside, next year makikita mo yun, nakabihis na yun. Kasi, alam mo yun, pero kung 10% only is the one in costume and the 90%, wag ka nang magpa-costume party next year. Kasi it will not happen. The same 10% people will show up wearing a costume, but the 90% will not. So you should know the culture of the people that That's why it's very important if you notice kami when we do an event. We already ask, ano ang demographic ng tao? Ano ang culture ninyo? Like, ang culture ba ninyo? Mag-game? Ay, naku, boring sila. Gusto lang nila karaoke. Edi, let's not veer away. Let's not introduce things that are too difficult for them because it's not their culture. So find the culture of the crowd that you want to engage with so that you will know what is the appropriate game to give them. Because no matter how brilliant your ideas are, but if the crowd is not into it, it will never happen. It will not have a go to that. Kasi that's not them. It's so hard to convince people or to make them do something that they are not. That's why yung sinasabi mo, what if there are two na hindi? Wala tayong magagawa doon. They're not into it Yeah. So we just need to respect whatever they but that doesn't stop us from having fun.
Yes. Ultimately, the goal is to have fun with everyone.
Yes.
So lahat ng audience natin na kunwari may orgs or may gustong parties and stuff, remember your demographic and be sure na kung ano man yung plans nyo, naka-include sila doon. All right, so Ms. Hope and Ms. Star, we only have time for one last question. So, konti na lang po. What do you think are the advantages of virtual events over face-to-face events? So, Ms. Star naman, would you like to go first po?
Number 1, traffic. Walang traffic.
Traffic lang sa communication. Traffic lang sa communication. Sa Wi-Fi.
Okay. Well, virtual event actually was the offshoot when we had this pandemic. So we know that this is a safe way to still enjoy, 'di ba? Virtually, kahit na there's a risk, 'di ba, of potential infection or sickness. So that's a plus. Second is that I think you can be more creative when it comes to virtual parties because of different applications and technology and visuals, diba? Than being on site. Um, Kasi pag on-site ka, you will be restricted on the space, 'di ba? You will be restricted on the area. Imagine, I cannot have 5 games, 'di ba? If my space is only 40 square meters. Like, hindi ako pwedeng And there are actually games that you cannot play sa on-site. Like, I cannot play Candy Crush with someone, 'di ba? Kapag on-site. I cannot play a race game network-based with someone on site. I mean, these things are actually platform-based, so you can only incorporate it dun sa, sa virtual event. And I think the third part is that you can expand your attendees if you do it virtually. Because again, in an on-site or physical event, you will be restricted only to the number of attendees that they who can attend or the venue can accommodate. But if you go virtually, you can technically go global. Diba? So I think that's also a plus.
Thank you. And
Okay.
Miss Hope,
Okay,
do you
ako
have anything to
personally,
add?
of course, personally, face-to-face is totally, ang sarap ng
Yes, of
feeling, no?
course.
Doing a
Of
show
Yes po.
that you can see the actual response of people and, you miss that. Ako definitely, I miss that. But one thing that is nice in the virtual, that's very true. In the live performance, you need actual airplanes coming into Manila. Tourism is at a go pagka ganon. That's why pagka may show tayo sa Manila and then the Luzon, Visayas and the Mindanao goes to the convention, then buhay ang turismo, no? But in the aspect naman of the virtual, na mamatay ang turismo pero buhay naman ang mga kapatid natin digitally. Meaning everybody has a certain niche. Pero wala namang trabaho ang mga freelancers, ang live. So there's a pros and there's a cons.
Yes, correct.
Okay? Now, if there's a live, meron pa ring trabaho ang digital but on a minimal contribution. So, pareho na nakakapatay sa industriya, parehong nakakabuhay na industriya. But the beauty of it, when the pandemic will be gone, now there will be a merge. I believe that in the future, shows will be both virtual and live, meaning those that are in Visayas and in Mindanao, most probably, will be part of a virtual na lang. Kasi noong panahon noon, ang tawag natin doon, you use microwave, no? Microwave satellite, meaning I can go, parang television show, di ba? Itbulaga, for example. Someone is in Bacolod, someone is in, or what we do in San Miguel Corporation before, one host is in Mindanao, and then we link them together with the microwave, no? The microwave system. So, broadcast mo na, hi, we're here in Cebu. Kamusta ka na, Davao? And then people interact, parang ganyan. So, I think that will be the same with, babalik lang tayo sa dati, it's just a different medium, which is virtual, but definitely, magkakaroon na ng ganong, during a live, Yeah. But definitely, the live will be totally different. Maiiba ang scale niya. Not the normal that we normally do before, that there's a lot of video, there's a lot of production numbers, na pwede naman palang wala masyadong production numbers. So, kawawa din yung ibang artist kasi mawawalan sila ng kalakal, trabaho. So, if we can merge everybody so that everybody will be part, hindi mawawala ang virtual, hindi mawawala ang live, we can mix them together by the year 2023, 2022, hopefully, then everybody will be happy. Kasi mostly of the television people is the one earning now. Kasi yung medium nun is like television, itong ganitong system. So, hindi lahat can adapt to the, matagal yung ibang naka-adapt no, sa virtual
Opo.
shows.
Tama
Alison,
po.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Alison, I
So,
think, duduktungan ko yun kay Direk. Kasi the
sige
question
po.
is, ano yung pros ng virtual, di ba?
Opo, the
Ano
advantages
ngayon
over
ang cons ng
face-to-face.
virtual? Kasi if you're gonna ask me personally, if I miss the physical event, I really do. Because there is
Opo.
one thing actually that virtual event cannot replace. And you know what that is? Energy.
Yeah.
Energy. Like pagpasok mo sa isang event venue direct, 'di ba? Parang tunog pa lang ng background music, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Nandun na
Pumps
yung
you up.
energy.
Yeah.
Dito, kahit lakasan mo yung speaker mo at mag-isa ka lang nanonood sa screen, sometimes you miss it. Yeah, may konting energy, 'di ba? But I think that's one of the things that you will really, really miss if you do.
Yung warmth, yung
Yes.
iba.
Actually, right now, nakakamiss nga po talaga yung physical face-to-face. Kaya sana po matapos na yung pandemic so we can all
Yes.
see what the new physical face-to-face gatherings are like. Kung merge nga ba, do we go back to previous normal? We'll see. But thank you so much, Miss Hope and Miss Star, for this very meaningful, very lively, very question-filled discussion. Thank you so much talaga. We would love and we would like to express our gratitude to our speakers, Miss Dorothy Hope Matriano and
Thank
Miss
you.
Star Asuncion, for
Thank you.
answering the many questions given by our audience. Would you like to share any final thoughts before,
Wala.
before
Let's
we
just
wrap up?
enjoy this pandemic. Let's enjoy this pandemic. No negative things can ever destroy us. Meaning, just believe that we will be able to survive this because we have an awesome God. Lagi lang tayong nakafocus, and then any little things that will happen in your life, whether that's negative, happy, enjoy nyo lang. Enjoy. Go with the ride. Sakyan nyo lang siya. Huwag nyo tambayan. Pag tinambayan nyo kasi, at magbukmo ka doon, talo ka na. Just go with it. Go through it, and then enjoy nyo lang. Enjoy nyo lang yung May pera, walang pera, okay lang yan.
Opo. And Miss
Okay lang
Star,
yan.
do you have any final thoughts?
I actually like the title, Bringing Home the Party, because actually there are two things that's more important. Party is actually home. Diba? Party is where your home is. Like, even if, as long as I am very comfortable with the people I'm with, it's a party. Whether I gumastos o hindi. Yun, diba?
Oh,
Yan lang.
thank you.
Yeah.
Those are such wise words from Miss Hope and Miss Star. Enjoy your life to the best and to the fullest. And wherever you are, as long as you're with people you love, it's a party. So to our guests, thank you for all your questions. I'm sure we all learned a lot from Miss Hope and Miss Star's talks. And to our speakers, thank you once again. Your insights gave us more ideas on how to effectively connect with our friends and our loved ones in better and safer ways in the coming holidays. In these times of quarantine and isolation, maintaining traditions and relationships is often overlooked. But I'm sure everyone here will now have tricks up their sleeves when they plan their family Christmas parties or virtual get-togethers with their friends. Indeed, the pandemic has significantly altered the way we celebrate moments in our lives and enjoy the company of our loved ones. But as we learned today, there are ways we can still do these things with proper planning and with the use of our imagination. May our holidays become more joyful and meaningful with the tips we have learned from this webinar. But before we end, here are a few reminders. You can now access the evaluation form using the link shared on the screen. This link is also posted on our Facebook page, UP Corp Sponsors Diliman. The evaluation form will again only be available for 48 hours, and e-certificates will be given to those who answer the evaluation form. These will be sent within 15 days after this webinar. Once again, we would like to extend our warmest thanks to all of you who have taken the time to attend Bringing Home the Party, a talk on party planning during the pandemic. Also, massive thank you to our speakers, Ms. Dorothy Hope Matriano and Ms. Star Asuncion for sharing their knowledge and expertise and experiences with us. So have a good night, everyone, and keep safe. Till next time.